Hi, my name is Rimel Kamran, and I am the inaugural Cincinnati Youth Poet Laureate. I've truly had an honor serving as a co-curator for the 2023 Mindful Poetry Moments alongside Yali Kamara. I remember when we were discussing this year's theme, I was immediately drawn to choosing a theme that highlighted both the diversity and the oneness of humanity's stories, which led to our theme, Our Stories, our narrative. And the four poems that we have selected, they all um, they all contribute to this idea of narrative, to this idea of storytelling. Whether it's talking about experiences with first librarians or acts of self-care, um, these poems, they provide different angles to understanding how humanity's stories are truly diverse, yet there is a single thread that is tying them all together. And I definitely saw this concept of storytelling and narrative shine through during our April workshops. It was truly wonderful to be a part of such a beautiful and resilient group of storytellers as we took the time to share our individual voices with one another and listen to each other. I truly believe that we learned to heal and we learned to connect. And so I'm really excited for this Mindful Poetry Moments 2023 collection you hold in your hands because this collection of poems is an amalgamation of bold and rich voices, experiences, and stories. This collection, it features voices from all around the world. It features voices from both children and adults, and I think this is a very sacred and exciting piece. And I hope you hold it close to your heart, and I hope you take the chance to read through these words thoughtfully and reflect on them and challenge yourself to possibly develop a new understanding of what does it mean to be human. What does it mean to hold a story in our palms and continuously build upon these chapters? So once again, it's truly been an honor to be a co-curator for the 2023 Mindful Poetry Moments. I hope you enjoy these poems, and I hope you continue writing.
The Big Box of Books Remembers by Patricia Franz. When you were sick enough to stay home, you know, a little bit achy, hot forehead, pajamas all day, PB&J with cool milk on a tray in bed. I laid next to you, tucked in close to your hip, all my little golden books that fit perfect in your lap. You didn't mind their tired spines or your big sister's name in yellow crayon inside, and you didn't have to share. You closed your eyes and drew your finger across their tops. I delighted to find it landed on the poky little puppy, our favorite.
Hi, I'm Nina Lewis from the UK, from Worcestershire, England. My poem is called Words as Keepsakes. This is my first memory, a Christmas gift, a white-covered hardback of short stories with high colour pictures. So small, it fitted my tiny hands. I read all morning. I remember the story of a girl with dirty fingernails, chosen to present the royal a yellow bouquet. I thought about my red-haired classmate, how she washed her hair with school soap. I travelled through worlds without realising the big messages. They seeped through my fingertips into my heart.
Hi, my name is Lily Smith, and I'm recording from Seattle, Washington. This is my poem, Julie's Library. Julie's Library, a place of peace, a home of justice, where stories matter, they're loved, beyond compare, Even I feel at home when I'm lost, looking through the shelves. A treasure chest of golden, beautiful, wondrous books. A perfect place to read and read and read. Read, read, read. For days, nights, for forever. Until coffin reality brings you back. Out of the pages, shelves, words, and worlds. Always welcoming and waiting to bring you back home.
My name is Marjorie Ziff-Levine. I'm speaking to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but I'm originally from Florida, and that was where I wrote this poem, and it's called When I Was 10. Way back when I was just 10, we go to the library now and then. We would have a half hour once a week to find a book in which we could peek. One of the books that caught my eye was a little girl's gift as I passed it by, about a young girl just my age when she died. Reading her story, I cried and cried, not simply for her struggle or ultimate demise, but because of her choice to donate her eyes. Just a mere child, but wise beyond her years, her sensitivity and compassion brought me to tears. Perhaps it affected me so profoundly and deep because the adversity of others always made me weep. When I was in kindergarten, I remember it well. We visited my dear aunt, who was not so well. She went blind as an adult and became so depressed, stayed in bed most days, but not for rest. Eventually she died, never regaining her sight as she plummeted to the depths, losing her fight. I had held her hand, trying to guide her way, and remember stroking her hair to make the frown go away. As a 5-year-old who felt her pain, I tried cheering her up, but it was all in vain. So when little Janice wanted to donate her eyes, I felt so moved and could empathize. From that day forward and throughout my life, I've had deep compassion for those with strife. But more than that, I've appreciated so much the kindness of givers and the lives that they touch. The fact that her leukemia did not dampen her spirit and the suffering of others, she could see it and hear it. What an impression and inspiration that stayed. With her courage and selflessness, such a difference she made. But here's the thing that is so very eerie. I'll share it with you to solicit your theory. In 2011, I awoke with a start, remembering clearly that little girl's heart. I decided to look up that book from the past, and what I discovered left me aghast. Just that month, the 50th edition had been printed and was released to the public, newly minted. Was it a premonition or ESP? Why had that message come to me? I ordered it promptly and reread it with care. It was just as moving and left my soul bare. I am now at age 70, as I was at 5 and 10, just as compassionate as I was back then. I came to realize and to embrace the truth that I'm still just as sensitive as I was in my youth. One message, I suppose, is we must try to remember the impact things can have on children so tender. All outward appearances can often belie the depth and perception unseen by the eye. It's the sensitive ones who enter the earth with perceptions and insights right from their birth. Sometimes they suffer from sadness and pain, or sometimes it's just not getting better again. Sometimes it's outwardly plain to see, and sometimes it's heartache or empathy. There is physical suffering and a psyche as well. How others are challenged, we can't always tell. So let's extend kindness and a helping hand to try to take care of our family of man. The giving heart, so unselfish and sweet, will help to uplift the others we meet. A little girl's gift is a gift indeed if we give of ourselves to others in need. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rimel Kamran. I am the inaugural Cincinnati Youth Poet Laureate, and I'm currently recording from a hotel, so I do apologize for any background noises. And my poem that I would like to share with you is called My First Librarian. This is my first memory. Hues of golden and rose illuminating our faces. Mama's shawl draped around our shoulders as scents of cardamom and oud fill the space between our bodies. She holds out her palms. I see buds of jasmine blossoming on her knuckles. It reminds me of hope as she carries a story on her body. She holds it in the flesh of her lips and the irises of her eyes. It speaks of a resilience born from silent struggle, how she came to America with a broken language on her tongue, mocked and ridiculed. How she nurtured her land and her home, teaching her daughters to wear henna with pride and langas with grace. My mama was my first librarian. It is her simple moments of wisdom and beauty that narrate her story and her mother's story, the way she sips chai as she works at her laptop, or how she hums old Bollywood songs when she cooks biryani. She gifted in my palms novels of ancestry. I cherish these pages as they are the most sacred story I own. My mama was my first librarian because it was she who taught me to find beauty and light and humanity between the joy, grief, and pain of another's broken narrative. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nina Lewis from the UK, from Worcestershire, England, and my poem is called Before Learning. On the bell, I raise the blind, check for small faces at the window, swing the door open until it locks before greeting my first student by name. The head-down baseball cap raises his chin and smiles. No one charges in unannounced, each child welcomed with a good morning, named under beating sun or slicing rain. Class united before registration in this offerance of connection, a brief moment of happiness to wash away morning agitation, a fresh start. On occasion, I'll mistake a hooded child for another with a similar coat. They'll laugh about it, relish telling me I've made a mistake. I'll recall how my grandpa used to call my brothers by each other's names all the time. How I now do the same with my nephews. They're surprised to realize adult brains are full and forgetful, especially when we demand they learn and remember so many lessons in a day.
Okay, good evening. We have a very special guest here, of course. I hope everyone is enjoying their evening so far. My name is Nicholas Cadell. This is Gabe the dog, and he will be joining us here for a moment. And I'd like to thank the Well for the opportunity to have these poems as part of this book and the book launch and everything. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to read these poems with you tonight as well, so thank you. This first poem is called Raising a Hand. You raise a hand to ask the question, is this simply a custom to request silently permission to speak? I have seen your hand launch with the force of spring-loaded confetti cannons, timidly ascend like a sunflower testing the first warm summer day, gently sway as an orange balloon often does when guided by October breezes after being untethered from the costume party. Do you notice how far away your hand is from the rest of you? The feeling of extension? Your hand is the moon, barely held in orbit by your head's familiar thoughts, your internal home planet. When you ask a question, you reach beyond yourself. And you reach with an open hand, ready to catch an unexpected frisbee thrown from a stranger, ready to high-five a cumulonimbus cloud, ready to grasp the talons of a big barn owl and fly over fields of grain ready to be harvested for bread to nourish askers of questions like you. After you ask a question, your hand returns to your body, holding something new to fill your soul.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Noesi, and I also go by online Pen of the People. You can check out my work at penofthepeople.com and on social media threads. I just first off want to thank The Well for including me in their 2023 Mindful Poetry Moments Anthology. I'm very honored for the space and for being able to not only be read but also heard. So I will go ahead and start my piece. In hand, I place a palm on the words, nestled between pages, bathing in notions of fantastical creatures or the unseen heroes of before, of knighted kings and feral queens, of potions and things unclean. Mystery and suspense beguile me to please, tickle ivory trees that lay flat before me. Smells of small forests waft at the nose, holding me close to the chest of untold, stories to ignite me, excite me in silken sheets, divine recollections of papers and pens, keys and screens of endless discoveries, showering in moonlit eyes of covers in the night, keeping me close to the helm of the vessel. Dreamy waves crash into me for attention. Morning dewdrops sing in the rain. Fogged thoughts kiss at the brim. Remind me of adventures past and futures unknown. A siren in the winds of the days before me. A bibliophile's solace. Thank you again, The Well, for the opportunity. I really am truly humbled and honored, and thank you so much for coming over and being a part of the experience, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Edge, and I'm reading a poem called Close Friend. It's in two languages, Spanish and English. The Spanish is made by Luis Garcia. Close friend, you made me feel like a soft wet leaf. You feel like a soft wet leaf. You make me feel like a flower, ready to bloom into colors. Close friend, you made my world a cooling rain on a scorching summer day. I saw you at the door to my heart. You stand rock solid, nothing can hurt you. You stand up for me, like an ocean crashing against rocks. Your gratitude bursts out like a miner finding a diamond. Your heart is as big as Mount Everest.
My name is Luis Angel Garcia Rodriguez. In Seattle, Washington. This is a poem I wrote with my friend Sebastian. It's called Amigo Cercano. Amigo cercano, te sientes como una hoja suave y húmeda. Me hace sentir como una flor lista para florecer en colores. Amigo cercano, tú hiciste mi mundo. Una lluvia refrescante en un abrasador día de verano. Te vi en la puerta de mi corazón. Te mantienes sólido como una roca. Nada puede hacerte daño. Tú me defiendes como un océano chocando contra las rocas. Tu actitud estalló como un minero que encuentra un diamante. Tu corazón es tan grande como el monte Everest.
This poem is called An Ocean of Miracles. I'm a miracle baby, living in a miracle world, finding out the white jelly beans taste like pineapple, collecting tiny joys from tiny hiding places, wondering what the full pink moon will bring us, listening to my mother tell of taking off her shoes and finding the infinite ocean for the first time. Now I'm a miracle baby, living in a miracle world, marveling at the perfect balance between chocolate and peanut butter in a Reese's cup, gathering all my dreams close as a quilt on a cold night, counting all my sheep and blessings and chickens before they hatch because I already know everything will be all right. Knowing the story of my mother being told by doctors there was only a 1% chance, and instead finding the infinite birth of the possible at the ocean once more. I was a miracle baby, born into a miracle world, becoming old enough to know how to savor every simple sweetness, believing in the power of full moons to turn tides and starlight to turn pages of our stories, understanding how the story of staying awake by eating brownies on a 14-hour road trip to Florida for Disney World and my mother to see the ocean for the first time is a story connecting us, a force of certainty among all the uncertain chaos and random throws of the dice and haphazardly strewn comets and planets and suns that all, nonetheless, propel my possibility as one ceaseless miracle. Thank you.
My name is Robin McConaughey, and I am recording from Seattle, Washington. My poem is called Remember. Remember the weight of your actions. Remember the lullabies your parents sang to you as you slowly fell asleep to the sounds around you. Remember the bird that sat at your window every morning. Remember the stray cat that you loved and fed. Remember the teachers, the ones that loved and supported you. Remember the sad and happy parts of your life. Remember the sunshine and the rain. Remember your birthright. Remember your first word. Remember.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Taylor and I am recording from Brazil. The title of my poem is A Declaration. Tonight, I reminded myself that I was happy today, the way a child shouts at their mom to watch them jump off the edge of the pool where it's not so deep, but they feel proud anyway.
Hi, my name is Amber Bigby. I'm from Seneca, Missouri, and the title of my poem is Grief. Grief. They say it comes in waves, that it will pass like the water recedes, but do they really know how it feels to not be able to breathe? To only hear the roar of your own pain? If grief is like a wave, then mine is like a tsunami. Sometimes I can see the wave crash down on me, but where can I run? How can I escape something so far-reaching? These times hit hard, but not as hard as the invisible wave, the one that crushes me between heartbeats, the one that steals my breath as it closes over my head, the one that reminds me that you're not here. These invisible waves hurt. They make me cry out for you. They leave me gasping for air as they withdraw. And the destruction path is wide, but they tell me that healing is messy, that it will get easier with time. These words of comfort are lost as my tsunami bears down on me. The sunlight flees and the darkness takes over. They say it comes in waves. Now I'm just waiting for the water to recede.
Hello, my name is Tara, and I am recording from Westchester, a western suburb of Chicago. Today I'll be reading an original piece entitled Always Remember. Shout out to Granddaddy for teaching me about unconditional love. A love that expects nothing but gives it in return anyway. A love that is true. A love that says, you can't do for me like you used to, and that's all right. Remember when you would pick me up after school on Thursdays, right at 3:20 on the dot? Then we would head to KFC for our honey barbecue chicken wings. Somehow I would always manage to stamp half my face with barbecue sauce, and the rest painted the white collar of my uniform blouse. But it was all good. Remember when you used to hold my hand to cross the street, even when I got to be bigger than you? Ooh, I was so embarrassed. Like, hurry up, Granddad, let's just get this over with. Can't have my friends seeing this, because that's what mattered then. Or when I went off to college, you were so proud. Your first grandchild doing what you wanted to do. Barely made it past 3rd grade and from the Jim Crow South. Yet you were still able to make a way. And marry and raise 2 well-educated children who will later follow your footsteps to do the same. And you were so proud, chest up, smiling, mouth wide, proud, and I was proud to make you that way. As I reminisce. But you taught me love, a different type of love. A love that accepts a person for who they are and not how you want them to be. Yes, I want you alive and well, full of life, dark, robust, and strong, willed like you used to be. Yes, I want you to remember my name and call me your granddaughter, your sweet thing, Tara. Yes, I want you to open your eyes and see me and smile when you do. I still miss you sliding me money in my hand, pocket, book bag, when my mom wasn't looking, and then schooling her when she caught you. Now, Di, this girl is doing good. She's doing all the right things. She deserves this. Granddaddy to the rescue, my knight in shining armor, my protector from the world, shielding me from what you thought would be too much. But you couldn't protect me from this. This idea of spiritually losing you while you physically sat there, motionless, a stranger in your own body, and me secretly wishing at times that you had physically left. Privately crying in the car after visiting you at your facility, but then calling to give Grandma a good report. To be strong when I didn't feel like it, and to love when it was too much. To love when it hurt and felt unfair and felt like my heart was slowly being chipped away. To watch our family mourn the loss of you while we witness your mental and physical deterioration. And you sat there in your chair, eyes closed, lips pressed tightly together, body stiff. All you can do was be. And I loved you, and I love you. I was forced. I couldn't not. I love you for who you were and who you are now. I love you for who you are in this very moment as you transition to meet our Lord. I love you still, and I will forever, always remember. Thank you.
Jacket Pocket, created and read by Sheila McMullen. I don't remember the first time I felt my body as my own. I don't remember when I first felt love or the moment joy flowed through and I became inspired. I don't remember when no changed from a boundary to an orientation toward others to make time more untroubled. I don't remember so much of my life or how these moments dictate to me a polite smile in conversation, the decision to put up my hair or leave it long, a stone kept in my jacket pocket, decisions like tremors from memories I can no longer access, and yet I remember the first time I told you I loved you. how that broke me open like the red clay earth. Thousands of years of decomposing life and weather and iron metal creating the world. I remember when you felt like an extension of me, and with you I learned more how to live in my body. In that living, I remembered what it craves to feel safe. I remember seeing you as separate from me and mourning our distance, and deciding then that this is the point. Once the world invented us, we shook for the memory of it. To remember you is to feel apart from the world, then a part of it again.
Remembered. Again, a piece of a complex structure by Patricia Franz. From fingerprint art to brushing gray hairs, from strumming guitars to tracing tears, one gold band remembers a hand, remembers youth for old age's embrace, remembers you for covenant.
Tanya Young from Sarasota, Florida. Moon pie. The moon rises tonight like an old yellow filling station sign on that little southern town, where even a good restaurant couldn't wipe away the boredom, and where they eat the moon in the form of a pie. But I can still see and smell the place in the woods where the deer slept, and the hole in the grass where it hid from your Saturday guns. Across the field is the tree I used to hide in, under its sweet breath of branches. The oak made room for small children, and every blade of grass knew my name. The house is crumbling now, twisted branches reaching into the kitchen, where you read the newspaper you never seemed to finish, folded by your coffee mug, and the pink petunias floating in a blue dish on the table. I can almost hear the dripping sink faucet that you never got around to fixing. It makes me sad to think about all the love that never existed between us.
Hello again, this is Sarah from Brazil, and this is my poem, In the Distance. Delicate bones support the teetering stilts of this structure, while movement and motion coax the trauma out of my lithe limbs, releasing distant memories of the strength held deep inside.
Hi everyone, this is Steven Sipperstein, and I'm coming to you from Wallingford, Connecticut, and specifically sitting near my favorite stand of beech trees in the woods near my home. Today I'm going to read a poem called Remember That You Are Enough. Remember that you are enough, that enough is a gift we give to ourselves, each other, the future. Enough food, enough water, enough air, enough care, enough space, enough rest, enough. That enough is the gifting that makes of algae and fungus a lichen. All those hyphae connecting the enough of what you do not see to the enough of what you do. That enough is when what you need and what you want align. Enough is not trying so hard to have, to do. Enough to be. Enough is a seed that grows abundance, that grows gratitude, that grows resistance. Enough of this overconsumption, enough of this power, this taking, enough of this dominance, this hierarchy, this supremacy, enough of this plundering, this pain. You say, stop, don't do that. Enough. Enough is demand, enough is declaration, affirmation, interjection. Enough is adjective, adverb, pronoun, noun. What an abundance of enough. But could enough also be verb? To enough, you enough, I enough, we enough, together in this moment of sunlight cascading through the beach leaves.
Hello, my name is Grace Sanchez, and I'm from Scotts Valley, California. My poem is titled Remembering You for Dad. A spirit of gentleness, your voice soft and kind, singing Goodnight Irene as a bedtime lullaby. Holding my hand as we sit side by side, the warmth from your palm, from your heart. Midnight snack for midnight movies, the smell of breakfast papitas on Saturday morning, listening to Giants baseball, listening to each other, early morning calls every birthday, serenading me with Las Mañanitas, making pumpkin pies from scratch every night before Thanksgiving, the aroma of ginger and cloves filling the room. I can't make a pie without holding that time sacred, still sacred, still love, still.
Hello there, I am Haleh Liza Gafori, and I am very excited to curate the poems for Mindful Poetry Moments in 2024, specifically in April, which is National Poetry Month. And these sessions are an opportunity for us to gather, to read, to discuss, to write, to really expand our lived experience through the wonderfully sensual medium of language. Poetry invites us to re-see, re-feel, relive moments from our own lives, and of course, to see and feel and taste moments from other people's lives, to inhale moments from other people's lives, to discover things we didn't even know were there. So I look so forward to doing this with you. And I think of the Persian mystical poet Rumi, who said, "Eat my poems like Egyptian bread." And the American poet Mark Strand, who said, "Ink is running down the corners of my mouth. There's no happiness like mine. I have been eating poetry." So that's what we'll do. And I look so forward to seeing you, to connecting through this work, through the work, and also, to hearing some of the poems that you write as we move towards the 5th anniversary publication of Mindful Poetry Moments. I look forward to seeing you. I hope to see you. Awesome. Bye.